Brahmacharya literally means conduct that leads to the realization of the Divine Lord. The technical meaning of Brahmacharya is self-restraint, particularly mastery of perfect control over the sexual organ. This in return leads to the freedom of lust in the form of the mind, speech, and action. This practice is extremely important for grahasthas, also known as householders or family holders, and it's equally applicable to both men and women. Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita teaches us that in order to attain him, one needs to be serene-minded, fearless, and be firm in the vow of Brahmacharya. Now, the question many of us will ask is, why is Brahmacharya so essential? Maharishi Patanjali states in the Yoga Sutras, the practice of Brahmacharya leads to great enhancement of energy. Now, to understand further, we need to explore the practice of Brahmacharya from an energy perspective. The preservation of this sexual energy is like fuel for spiritual enlightenment. When the sexual energy gets depleted, there is no vital energy to bring up during meditation for spiritual awakening. It is like trying to light a lamp but having no oil. Furthermore, the practice of Brahmacharya bestows tremendous vigor and vitality. For example, we have Lord Hanuman, who is the god of strength and valor, as he teaches us by being the perfect role model of having constant practice of Brahmacharya. We also have Mirabai, who is the symbol of courage and perseverance, where she battles countless of persecutions from her family, and yet she always ends up victorious. Even within the midst of oppression, she could engage within bhajan bhakti. On the other hand, we are constantly getting distracted and struggling to maintain full focus in our devotion. In recent times, Swami Vivekananda, a great practitioner of Brahmacharya, once was quoted telling a childhood friend that power comes to one who observes unbroken Brahmacharya for a period of 12 years. And as a result, he felt that a hidden screen had vanished from his brain. For that reason, he no longer needed to prepare for any lectures on such a subtle subject as philosophy. Suppose he had a lecture tomorrow, all that he would speak about would flash before his eyes like a reel of pictures. And then, the next day, on the spot, he would put this all into words during the lecture. The next question, which many will ask, that as a married couple, how is Brahmacharya still possible? Well, Lord Swaminarayan in the Vachanamrit explains that the dharma of the husband is to have only one wife, to have physical relations with her only at the appropriate time, and to renounce all other women in the world by regarding them as one's mother, sister, or daughter. This very same concept also applies to the wives too. In this day and age, it's even tougher, as everything we lay our eyes upon has a sexual undertone, from advertising to social media to the movies and the TV shows we watch. For example, in the current climate, pornography is a taboo topic, but the danger of addiction is vast and deep. To truly understand the issue at hand, we must understand the root of its origin. The term pornography comes from the Greek root word porne, which means prostitute. A brothel in ancient Greek was a pornion. Porne and pornos were slaves, bought and sold so the slave master would profit from lust. And this business of slavery still continues today, but just with a different modern take. A pornography habit is usually born during teenage years. Thereafter, with frequent and consistent porn consumption, especially when coupled with masturbation, that young teenager begins to miswire their brain for sex, as large amounts of dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter, are being dumped into the brain. Scientific research shows that those who use pornography a lot have the same brain activity shown in drug or alcohol addiction when circuits in your brain is associated with reward, motivation, and memory. Especially in young men when they suffer from early childhood trauma. They subsequently find porn as a relief. Studies show that over time the brain actually produces more neurotransmitters in the brain that acts like an opioid, pain reliever. Porn has quickly become the easiest escape for people to bounce out of reality. But with increased exposure to porn, the individual builds tolerance and do not get the same brain effect and feelings that they did from the porn they were watching. This leads to escalation. Now they need more time with porn and more graphic porn to achieve the same feeling they used to get from less intense porn. Science shows that men who watch pornography begin to find their partners less attractive and less desirable. Infidelity increases with porn consumption and relationships can deteriorate. If the partner knows about the porn habit, their self-esteem is damaged and the dynamic, especially sexually, can be harmed permanently. As a porn habit escalates into an addiction, consequences unravel even further for couples and families. Within these stages are times of increased anger, frustration, and aloofness. This can become confusing for partners of porn addicts and especially for their children. So if we are suffering from this type of addiction, what can we do? Our great Vedic teachings shows us this is a challenge which we can overcome together through satsang. In other words, a support network where one can ease their burden by offloading their pains and struggles to those who are willing to listen attentively. Furthermore, one can receive guidance and have an accountability partner to ensure they don't fall on the wrong path again as they battle against their inner demons. The idea of satsang is to bring positivity and awareness into one's life. It is strongly believed that the human mind, if left alone, is prone to evil and misdeeds. Hence, those who do not associate themselves with good company can easily be dragged into a spiral of chaos. The Ramayana states that as humans, we all make mistakes, but it's now time for us to learn from them and start a new chapter in our lives.